Another Thursdays of Dimensions. Welcome. So today I'm going to talk about something a bit different in terms of encounters that I've had. And I've decided to talk about this because I've realized I'm not alone. People flooding my inboxes and explaining to me their encounters has made me realize we just need a big group and we can just chat about these encounters. So that made me feel safe because for the longest time, experiencing such a dimension, I thought I was alone. I thought maybe I'm working for the dark side and I didn't know about it. And I kept on praying, Lord, take away this thing from me, because I'm like, it's not going away. But you hear of other Christians, you hear of other believers. Well, like, no, I experienced that. It's normal. Just check where you go and stuff like that. But anyway, let me get into it. In the year 2017, I was visiting a friend. We were catching up on some series. It was a beautiful night. We went to sleep before 12. Around about 2 o'clock in the wee hours of the morning. How should I explain this? It feels like your spirit is separating from your body. And you are aware of your surroundings. But you're in another dimension. Other things are happening that are not happening in the room that you're in. And I have to be very careful speaking about this because I can receive a lot of flashback. But nobody has ever come up to me and told me, so don't talk about these things. So I am going to talk about them, because I've realized I'm not alone. People go through this thing. It happens. And it's nice to know what other people are experiencing out there. So in that space where I'm feeling like my spirit is separating from my body, and I can feel or see my body lying on the bed, there's a hand that was on my thigh, my right thigh. There was a hand, but it was like a comforting hand. It was like a parent's hand. And then I heard a voice saying, wake up and pray. Then I literally snapped back into my body. Then I'm awake. But because I was so drained and tired, I literally made a prayer of protection, made a prayer of thanksgiving, and I went back to sleep. Tell you what, I wake up in the morning to missed calls from my family in KwaZulu-Natal, back at home. And they tell me at round about between 2 o'clock and 2:45, they had a burglary at home. It was so bad that my mom was almost raped that day. So I always say to myself, that little prayer I made, that hand, whether it was an angel or whatever, I don't know people, but there's a hand that held my thigh area, and then it said, wake up and pray, in the most calmest voice. And I heeded the call and I prayed. And I wake up to this news in the morning. I'm like, Lord, thank you. Just keep on sending your angels. Keep on speaking your words in our life so that we can actually help those in need. Can you imagine? My own mother was almost raped in her own house. But at that very hour, God says, child, wake up. Your prayer can do a difference. Guys, with this encounter I'm sharing today, it goes back to what I was saying all along, that there are so many things I can share with you, but I'm very limited. I am very limited. Because even the people who have told us some things are for you to keep to yourself. They don't tell us what to keep to ourselves. So at the end of the day, you have a courtroom in your own solitudeness because you cannot talk to anyone. There are no groups where you sit down and talk about these things. So for me, this platform is very good because every time I speak about these things, somebody will inbox me and say, Storo, I thought I was alone. Storo, what you spoke about, I thought something was happening with me that was wrong. But I'm thankful that you spoke about these things. So I'm going to delve in slowly but surely. And it's a good thing that we're saving all these messages. Because if you look at them, they're gradually going up like that until we reach somewhere. And it means I just have to pray more on what I can share more with you. Because in this encounter, some call it the OBE, outer body experiences. Some call it spiritual travel. You know, I think what I can tell you right now is that the gifts of God were developed by God, but over time they were corrupted by the dark one. But it doesn't mean God's power ceases to exist. It doesn't mean God has stopped to function. It just means you have to ask your question to yourself in the mirror. Who is in you? Which spirit is functioning in you? Then you'll actually be at liberty. And when I say to you that I'm a bit reluctant on sharing some of the encounters, it's not because I'm doubting myself. I've walked this journey long enough to understand it better. But it's that thing where some of the things you cannot share just like that on such a platform. That's why I wish for those people who are coming into my inboxes, we can start a group. Even if it's a WhatsApp group, we can chat about these things. I think they can help us a lot, because I might have an understanding that you don't yet have. And you might have an understanding that I need for my life, you know. Because that's how we build each other like that. I think we can also say, umuntu ungumuntu ngabantu, because that's what we need from each other, to groom each other in that way, because someone is forward, someone is a bit back, we push each other forward, we reach a certain space, we find somebody else who's a bit more forward, and then we go to the same place. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today, that God can tell you to do something. That voice, it's never a loud voice, that calm voice, listen to it. It's in each and every one of us, because there's a certain essence in us that lives on forever. The very one that was breathed into our lives, your essence, who you are, before everything, before your mind, before your physical being, your very essence. So trust it. But anyway, I'm sitting on 7 minutes. I think I've spoken enough. I would love some feedback, because for me, guys, this was a stretch. I had to take a very high leap, 2 steps up, to actually discuss these things, because we know in church, we know in our congregations, there can be people who say, no, she's going the wrong path now. Where is she going? What's happening? No, OBEs are like this, they're from the devil. I'm done with that. I'm just trusting the Lord that I walk with. Not to say that I don't listen to leaders that are there, because we still need leaders who are, let me say, before us, because they've walked a longer journey. Then we can ask for guidance. But I'm saying I'm done with that, because I trust the one I walk with, you know. Yeah, but anyway, it's 8 minutes. That's enough for today. Guys, please enjoy your night. Let the questions come. And remember, the YouTube channel, you can watch, but also ask questions. I'm always here. Enjoy your nights.